Okay, so ladies, we have moved up in the world. I'm a little bit more self-conscious now because you've got access to a better quality version of my face. Not too sure how I feel about that. Also, I've put my engineering degree to use and I unscrewed the holder for the microphone. It's currently sitting there along with the two other little cap things, spacers maybe, I don't freaking know. Anyway, I'm doing it on a fancy recording software as well. The headphones, they're not doing anything, so they're probably going to come off along with my dressing gown because I'm getting really quite hot and flustered. Anyway, kind of self-conscious, guys. Don't know how to feel about it, but hey, I don't even know what camera. So if you can you see in my, you can see in my TV, I'm using my phone to record this, and I have an S24 Ultra, so that has 3 cameras on the back. What fucking camera am I looking at? Hold on, I'm going to use my monster slippers to tap that one. Oh, okay, it's that one. Because I like to look at you, or pretend I am anyway. So today, guys, you've got a little glimpse into my setup. Sorry, I've got my like little viewer there. I'm not hiding behind the microphone. By the way, if this is too loud, I'm really sorry. You're going to have to put up with it for this video because I'm not stopping that now and looking back. You can see my lovely Christmas wallpaper. You can see my lovely LED lights at the top there. Not really showing too much detail because they are extremely bright. But you can also see my lovely little lamp down the bottom there. That's very cute, isn't it? And I hope I've got this ginormous industrial fan. I think I showed you that last episode. Just sitting there blasting away. And my Christmas tree in the reflection of the TV. Now, I am a little bit trapped at the moment because this wire is not long enough. It's not. So if I yank up, I'm risking it. But just wait till I get a longer one and then it will all be okay. Anyway, guys, I feel really vulnerable. How do I... Okay, probably not have my legs like that. I should have them closed. This is all very new, guys. Very, very new indeed. I don't even know what today's topic is going to... Oh, no, I'm going to play with my little dials that I've got. This is not very good. And I'm really self-conscious. I feel like I'm being stared at. Anyway, as per usual, it is 5:59 a.m. My hair is not done. I've got a dent on my head. I've been wearing this headband, right? Because the way my hair goes up at the back, I'm trying to like pin it down. Because the bloke, when he was doing my hair, I go to the Turkish barbers because, do you know what? You know what you're getting when you go there. They're really like consistent. They produce good haircuts. But this guy, he had a bad day or something went wrong because he was absolutely fucking I was getting beaten the shit out of coming in. He's huffing and puffing and I'm like, can you just stop or just calm yourself down because it's fucking crazy. Anyway, Jesus Christ, he was so fucking violent. And then he cocked up, and I could see he cocked up my hair, because then he went over this like one patch like 100 fucking times. I was sitting there for 20 minutes, I was like, I'm gonna die. Just fix it. And then he felt bad, because I tipped him. Yeah, I always tip them, because they asked for 35 quid, but the cash machine opposite doesn't let you take out 5 quid. So I was like, I'll just get 40 and then just give him the £5 because I'm so kind and caring. But that's also £5 that could go on a new liquid. Oh, let's do a liquid check today. Oh, side profile. Where is the jawline? Who knows? Anyway, enough about me. Vim True tonight is what we're having. Vim True. Interesting flavour. Not too sure how that is going to taste. Well, I've already tasted it, so I do know how it tastes. But let me just take it in. A little bit of ASMR there for you. Also, the way I'm sitting, my voice is really high pitched. I've got some fucking problems. What's funny is I'm going to sit here and lecture you as to why you should not be so self-conscious or insecure. And I'm looking at the wrong camera. But look at me, I'm a fucking state. So you can take my advice, absolutely. But anyway, today we're going to be talking a little bit about individualism. Oh, big word. What does it mean? I ain't got a fucking clue. But it sounds fancy. I think it's got something to do with who you are. Just a fucking shot in the dark. Anyway, so I'm going to start right at the beginning. When I come out of my mother's vajayjay. No, that's too far back. Okay, let's jump to reception. I think that's kindergarten for Americans. I don't know. Not quite sure. Anywhere else, I ain't got a fucking clue. I think you're 4 when you start nursery, and I don't know, 5, something like that, when you start reception. Anyway, not really much to talk about with primary school. With English-like systems, it goes like reception, then year 1 to year 6. That's all primary school. Then, when you're about 11, 12, you go into year 7, and then you go year 7, year 8, year 9, year 10, year 11. And that's when you get to 16, is when you sit your GCSEs in year 11. Then all through your 16-year-oldness, I'm old in my year. I'm an 06, and I'm November time, so I'm quite old. So you go, I don't know, you 17. I remember being 17 at college is all I'm going to say. And then turning 18 just after I left college, I think. No. No. I'm pretty sure I'm an adult. Or was an adult during college. I ain't got a fucking clue. Anyway, that's besides the point. What was I even saying? I ain't got a fucking clue, guys. Podcasting is hard. It's fucking hard, alright? I can talk for England. But following your train of thought, very, very difficult, especially when there's not someone here to remind you. You have to do it yourself. That's probably what the headphones are for, to listen to yourself and correct yourself. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, not much happened in primary school. I can't really remember, but looking at it from a sociological perspective, I'm guessing that is where a lot of your socialization occurs. When you're a kid, very, very handy, because you can just do what you fucking want when you want. No one gives a shit. Stereotypes don't exist. And that, yeah, I was going to say something else, but then I thought actually it's just stereotypes. Stereotypes don't exist. I can go and do whatever I fucking want, and no one's going to be like, oh, you're a fucking weirdo, or you're this type of person, you're an emo, you're this. Because no one thinks like that. Alright, okay, you did have a few kids later on, year 5, year 6 time, where they had been socialised by their parents into thinking like boys play with cars, girls play with fucking dolls. But do you know what? On the whole, you were free-spirited, which was very, very, very fun. Gotta say, not quite sure where I fit in there. I'll tell you something I do remember, looking retrospectively. I hope I'm not rotating this, because this is like directional based. Anyway, sorry, I forget what I was saying. Yeah, looking back retrospectively, actually there was a bit of a split dynamic. You had the lads, most of them went and played football and kicked a fucking ball about. Some of them, I remember them being fucking good. They were all athletic and they liked to play bulldog. Bulldog got banned in England. If you don't know what that is, you had to stand like on one side of this. So like you had a football pitch, right, or like just a pitch in general, or the playground. You'd have like 2, 3, or even one person if you're feeling like fucking. If you're picking on someone, you make one person go in the middle. One person goes in the middle, and then you've all got to run to the other side of the playground, and that person has to fucking. And they're meant to tap you, right? They're meant to just tap you and go, oh, bulldog, you need to come in the middle with me now and help me get the rest of these twats. They never did that. Okay, it was more like run for your fucking life, because those cunts were out to punch the shit out of you. They used to fucking tackle you to the ground. Come on, that's not part of the game. We needed a contract beforehand to sign and just say, by the way, if you play this game, you don't value your life. Very, very intense times. Anyway, on the whole, this is a generalising comment, so don't come for me, guys. I'm stuck. This is going to fuck me off. This is really going to stress me out, actually. I don't know where to put it, so I'll just put it on my shoulder. That'll do. Anyway, on the whole, girls usually... Oh, not me opening my legs. Slack. After my... Oh, my God. Okay, we'll talk about that later. Anyway... Girls usually played mums and dads, or more accurately, mums and mums. Mums and a more masculine mum. And then you have like the kids, and you'd have the dog. I usually was the dog. It was quite sad actually. Or they'd play like teachers, right? Obviously you stand at the front and you pretend to tell the class off. Oh, so much fun. Anyway, where did I fit? I ain't got a fucking clue. I don't remember really fitting anywhere. I used to play superheroes with some other kid. We had like a whole thing going. It was like called the Flashbacks and everything, and I was Black Cheetah. Looking back now, it's actually quite heavily based on a certain character, but yeah, that was kind of where I fit. Anyway, I'm talking a load of shit, I realise. Yeah, that was just kind of the dynamic that we all had, but no one looked at me when I was being the dog and was like, oh, he's playing with girls, he's fucking gay. No one ever thought that. Because you just don't. You're a fucking kid. Who gives a shit? The teachers were probably like, oh, look at that. But I never like had any trouble. No one really, like, obviously you have playground arguments, but there was no like directed bullying or anything, because kids were young. We're fucking kids. Who gives a fucking shit? And you know what, we should live like that more often. We should be like that now. It's more mature than what people are now. Anyway, what was I saying? Anyway, moving on from year 6 into year 7. Now that was a big fucking change, guys. Big fucking change. I'm rolling in my grave, because do you know what, it was, secondary school was interesting. Number one, when you were in year 1 and you used to look at the year 6s, they looked like the toughest cunts there were. It was like a gang. They were fucking terrifying. They looked like they had a mortgage, 3 kids, financial issues, and probably a little bit of alcohol issues as well. They were crazy. Going into year 7, what do you fucking mean, mate? You're OAP at that point. But the dynamic was completely different. Year 6, you go to being like the top of the fucking school. Year 7, you're prey. Right, this, because you're lumping 11-year-olds with fucking 16-year-olds that are, some of them that had fucking facial hair that used to drop down to their ankles. They were fucking, and they were tall, scary cunts. I tell you that now. Year 7 in English, I don't know if it was like it all over the place, but in Essex especially, if you went in as a year 7, trust, you're walking down the hallways, you're fucking ducking and dodging. They were out for blood. They would fucking shove you, they would kick you, they would trip, they would beat the shit out of you. Terrifying, but canon event, and you know what, wouldn't want it any other way, because it builds you up. Do you know what I mean? It's a nice introduction to the school. This is where you all go in the comments, Connor, I never had that, and I realised, oh, someone was actually out for me. Anyway, no, everyone got that sort of stuff. You kind of acclimatise. You get used to the new rules. We were allowed our phones for the first like 4 years, and then someone took a video or something of inside of the school or whatever and sent it to some random bloke in Sri Lanka and got it all banned or whatever. But I remember the freedom of having your phone. You were like, what the fuck is even that? It was like a massive step up from obviously being in primary school, where were we allowed our phones? No, we weren't allowed our phones in primary school. All of a sudden you just get this whole like new attitude about you. You're walking home from school on your own. Your parents aren't coming to pick you up. Crazy behaviour there, crazy behaviour. And also, you're there for 5 years. That's a long fucking time now that I think about it. I mean, looking back, fuck me, how did I survive it? I've been in education for a long time, and I'm still not doing all my uni work, so crazy to see. They say, how long did it say? 6 weeks to form a habit? It's been 10 years, still hasn't been fucking formed. Anyway, what was I even saying? Yeah, by the time you get into year 8, like, you're like, oh, I'm adjusting now. You go through a little bit of a rebellious phase because you know your teachers, and that's when problems start arising. But looking at the socialisation, looking at the sociological aspect of it, really fucking fascinating. Actually, I was a fucking weirdo, because trust, by the time I was in year 9, year 10, I had formed a hierarchy. I had formed a complex analysis on the fundamental workings of that secondary school. No one fucking asked me to do it. Not a single soul, not a peep in sight. No one told you. No one said, Connor, I'm sitting there with my fucking pen and paper in the cafeteria. You fit there, you're doing that because... What the fuck? No one fucking asked me to do it. No wonder I had a hard time. I didn't actually have a hard time, to be honest. I enjoyed it. But I have to get this out to you guys, because this... Maybe I was right, maybe I wasn't. This is just observational. But looking back at it with what I know now, I'm thinking, I'm seeing some patterns arising. Anyway, what was I saying? I can't fucking remember. It's hard. It's fucking hard. Sorry. Excuse me, I should say. Anyway, I'm going to touch on to that just in case I need it. Yeah, what was I saying? Right, so this is what I noticed. Now, this is a generalisation. No one fucking come for me if you're part of any of these groups or if you think I'm being a twat. Also, this is probably going to be really fucking loud, but I need to take my dressing gown off because I'm sweating like I can't say anything that's appropriate right now. Oh, day in the life of being chopped, right? It's fucking hard. Plus, I muted you guys, so you didn't have to listen to it. Right, I can't even get this off. Guys, this is the top. I'm wearing a top. I'm not wearing a wife beater, which is crazy. I usually wear a wife beater. Not anymore. We're moving up in the world. We're looking a little bit more prestigious. Actually, it's a shit top, and it's from Primark. Because trust, that's all I can afford in this day and age with this cost of living crisis. You can go on my shoulder. There we go. So, what was I saying? I was talking about hierarchy. Right, so these are my key findings. This is not scientifically backed by any means necessary, other than my 3 brain cells that are running around right now trying to make sense of everything around me. So I've got the popular kids, right? These kids are the most athletic, and this is gonna sound really weird, but genuinely I noticed attractiveness really helped, like conventional attractiveness helped in assigning your role in this hierarchy. Obviously you go into year 7 and you realise, oh my god, we're no longer a part of one school, like this is loads of primary schools all coming together now, and like it's a whole new blend of kids. So you're finding people that you have common interests with, right? So little Johnny's found out that Bob likes Hot Wheels. Fucking great, a friendship has been formed. Little Jenny has realised that Lisa likes cocaine, so they form a no, but it's true, like we clump up anyway. And then all of a sudden I noticed, hold on a second, some interests or some behaviours, some characteristics are determining the popularity levels. Crazy thought, I know. Oh my god, you stated the fucking obvious. Crazy. 10 points to Connor. Anyway, as I was saying, so at the top are the popular kids, most conventionally attractive. They're also very athletic, and they're a lot more advanced per se in their vocabulary. We're talking swearing, boisterousness, combative, rebelliousness rebelliousness with the teachers. Wow, fuck me, James over there has just told the teacher to fuck off because she's a tart. Wow, I think he's a cool guy. That's kind of how it worked, to be honest. That's so fucking creaky. So I've got like a little foot stand for my feet. Anyway, yeah, so the popular kids, they developed, they grew, right? They were like a fucking tumour. They expanded and then they kind of stopped. Benign, I have to say. They were like the first to hit puberty. Their voices dropped first. They were the first to get fucking facial hair and look like 70-year-old men. They were like crazy and they were loud. And they were also, key thing, the first ones to like do drugs and like okay, don't know why I led with drugs. First ones to do alcohol. And then like weed, like, you know what I mean, or go to parties and things like that. They were the first to kind of experiment in that field, which is obviously characteristics that are very much aligned with being well developed as an adult. You know, drinking, what the fuck, that's what my mum does every night before she beats me, that kind of thing, do you know what I mean? So they were like the trailblazers or whatever. But they were twats as well. I shouldn't say that because I actually loved the popular kids at my school. They were fucking brilliant. A lot of them, we'll talk about this, we'll get into this, I'm getting ahead of myself. They were also filled with a lot of the bullies, right? That because they were on top of everyone else. Popularity, right? Do you know, I fucking give up. I actually give up. If this is what it's going to be like, I don't think we can continue this relationship. Anyway, what was I saying? So think of popularity as a currency. They were like the richest, right? Then the next group down, I don't really know how to describe this group. I'd probably say... Oh, you have to ignore that watermark down there, by the way. I'd probably say this group, I'm going to call them the semi-popular kids. Because they were like semi-popular. They did dip into alcohol and drugs or whatever, but they were quite close-knit. And they exhibited traits that were representative of the people that were at the lower end of the hierarchy, the bottom categories, which we'll go into. So they didn't fully match in, but they were fun. And they had a bit of academic... they were well versed in academia to an extent. They knew the importance of their studies or whatever and things like that, which kind of pulled them down a little bit, if that makes sense, which is bizarre, but whatever. They were great people, and we'll circle back to them because the next one's down, the third people down. There's only 4. The third row down are the nerds. Now I hate saying the word nerds because nerd is obviously it's a derogatory term. People are trying to take the piss. But these guys were like really fucking smart and I loved them. And to be honest, for the first half of secondary school I lumped with them because, especially in my household, it's always been you need to study and you need to do well for yourself academically, blah 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 blah. So these guys had the common interest with me. I did have a big struggle about trying to find people that had common interests with me, but we'll get on to me later on. Anyway, very, very smart. They never really touched drinks. I remember sitting with them one time in the canteen, and they were telling me that they had a party, more like a social gathering. Oh, fuck me. John. Oh, you don't even want to... I don't want to keep saying John. John, you don't even want to know how many fucking fruit shoots I had last night, mate. What, how much do you have? Fucking four. Fuck me, mate. You're fucking... You need to slow down. How you feeling? Do you ready? That's the kind of conversation they had. I'm thinking to myself, guys, fruit shoots, fuck me, that's strong. No. I was thinking, guys, come on now. Like, fruit shoots, is that how far developed we are? Or like having a fucking WKD. If you don't know what WKD... I don't even know if WKD is strictly from the UK. I don't even know. But WKD is not a strong beverage. It's an alcoholic beverage to an extent. I don't know if you can even call it that, but they're not strong at all. I mean, you have to have like fucking 75 WKDs, what I do anyway, before I even feel the slightest bit dizzy. I think I'm more dizzy sober anyway, on WKD that is. So they never really kind of dipped into that stuff. They were very obedient in lessons. They never really got told off, and when they did get told off, fuck me, you knew where someone was in the hierarchy based on how they respond if they got told off. If they were sitting there fucking shaking and going red, either they've got an awful traumatic past, or they were like low down on the hierarchy, because the confidence wasn't there. Confidence was a big part about it as well. I suppose the popular kids tried these different things because they were more confident, and they were more like, just not assured of themselves, I shouldn't really say that, more just like ready to take risks and things like that or whatever. So that was great. And then you've got the bottom of the barrel. Now these guys, don't even know why they were the bottom of the barrel, because they're the fucking best people you'll ever meet in your fucking life. I call them, what should I call them? I want to say animals, but that's actually quite rude. But what I mean is animals in the sense of they just did not give a fucking shit. They didn't... In England, we have like sets, they're called. So in each subject, like maths for example, you had set 1 through set 6, and they were all decided based on your grades. I shouldn't be called grades, they're called SATs, SATs or whatever, that we sat in primary school. So you sit those exams, and then those exams determine what sets you'd be in. It's a little bit, there's a big debate over it, because like set 1 was the highest intellectual capability. You were smart if you were in set 1 and stupid as if you were in set 6. That's what people saw it as. But really, like, people in set 6 is almost putting a label on them, saying you're in set 6, you're fucking thick as shit and you can't get up to set 1. That kind of vibe. Or if you're in set 1, even the kids that weren't actually as capable as they were made out to be thought that they were, because they were in set 1s and they're surrounded by other students that are doing well intellectually, so it kind of pushes them or whatever. There's a whole big discussion on it. Anyway, bottom of the barrel were mainly set 6. Do you know what I mean? And they liked... Doesn't mean that they weren't smart, because a lot of them are doing fucking fantastic now. It's just obviously different types of intellect and intelligence. You know what I mean? It's... and knowledge. But they would be fucking running down the corridors. They'd come in like, obviously they were all roughed up. They'd have fucking mud on them after every single break time, because they were rolling around outside in the fields. And they just cracked on. They lived a fucking beautiful life. Okay, I should have done that, because trust, I would have been so much happier. And they liked niche fandoms as well. They liked things like Five Nights at Freddy's. Now, I know that's not niche, because I fucking love Five Nights at Freddy's, but what I mean is like diving into the lore, like playing it religiously, like all these different YouTubers as well. It's so fascinating to look at, actually, the different types of YouTubers people used to watch, like in secondary school. Like the popular kids obviously used to watch football, and probably a lot of like pack openings and things like that, or whatever, or FIFA gameplay or whatever. And then you'd have like people that used to watch Daz Black, fucking love Daz Black, people like me. Then you'd have the smart kids that would always watch like fucking documentaries. What do you mean? I remember sitting in science once, and there was this kid that used to sit next to me. I fucking loved him. He was so smart. I kind of looked up to him in a way. And I remember him telling me that he watched a documentary the other night, and I was going, are you joking? Oh, you're joking. No one watches a fucking documentary off their free will. He did, because that's what people do. And I watch documentaries now. Don't know why I fucking slated it. I can't say that I don't like mushrooms, because I've never tried. I think I said that in the first podcast, actually. Not quite sure. Anyway, where was I going with this? Yeah, interesting how their different interests and whatever. But that is a key part into determining where they stood in this hierarchy, right? And what was interesting was with this triangle, I'm literally fucking drawing triangles on my notepad. Oh, where do you fit? Where do you fit? I was terrible. Not me sitting there saying the popular kids were the judgy ones. I was the fucking judgy one. Yeah, no one blended. It was strictly segregated. Like, you never mixed groups. Like, as soon as you were set in year 8, from then on you stuck with it. It's crazy. Where was I now? I was a bit of a weird one because I kind of liked everything. Like, everything. To be honest, like, I loved doing... I loved studying, and I knew, like, the importance of education, or at least I thought I knew the importance of education, and so I fell in with the nerds. But then slowly as I developed, I mean, to be honest, I floated everywhere. I was friends with quite a lot of people just because I just liked them, and I kind of cherry picked the good parts, like, from people. I liked like, even some of the popular kids and their boisterousness. I liked how they'd carry themselves, so I'd take that. But I liked how my friends in the nerd group or whatever would study in their routine, so I'd take their discipline from them, for example, or whatever. And I even like looking at, like, beef. We call it beef in the UK. It's actually an outdated term now, but like looking at arguments and gossiping and things like that, a lot of the time the semi-popular kids would handle that really, really maturely, really, really well, because they had the majority of arguments internally in their group. So looking at that, kind of just sussing out what was what I liked the most out of all these things, kind of developed me into who I am now. But anyway, later on down the line, I decided I kind of needed an escape from such a regimented style of work, coming home, fucking studying, going to school, studying, oh my fucking god. And crazily enough, I'm doing mechanical engineering right now. Shocker, because I was a social sciences kid. Like, I remember loving politics, loving philosophy, loving sociology, psychology. I know that's a little bit more scientific, but in terms of, like, maths and shit like that, and biology and chemistry and whatever. But yeah, anyway, I wanted to get out of this regimented life, so I kind of bled into the semi-popular group and stuck with them because I was exploring alcohol. My downfall is what I mean. If I don't die from an alcohol-related issue, 1, I'll be disappointed, 2, I won't be fucking surprised, because I genuinely think I'm going down a dark hole. But I let myself go down there, because you don't know how low you can go till you've been there. Am I right or am I left? I don't know. Anyway, yeah, and I liked a little bit more of the recklessness that they had in terms of their character, and in terms of, and I keep looking at the wrong fucking camera, sorry, in terms of their boisterousness and their rebelliousness to an extent, or whatever. And those people I found I've stuck with throughout my time between then and now as very, very close friends. We've all kind of grown up together or whatever, falling out with each other, obviously, as you do. It's very fun falling out, looking back now. It probably wasn't then, but it is now. And just kind of, I never really gave a shit, to be honest. A lot of the time in the semi-popular group, or just any friend group that I was in, certain things I did they didn't like. I remember, like, I loved the Scarlet Witch and I love Marvel. In the semi-popular group, no one gave a fucking shit about it. Trust, I did not. I don't fucking care. I'm sitting there waffling on about, like, Wanda or whatever, or all the Iron Man movies, and they're going, Connor, shut the fuck up. Fuck off. I do what I want. I talk about what I want. Hence, I'm doing this podcast. Interestingly enough, no one can interrupt me. Crazy. Anyway. Yeah, so that was that. Then, going to college, right, we finished our GCSEs. That's right, this sounds like I'm using and abusing people. Trust, when it got to year 11 and GCSEs were ever approaching, they're like coming up and I'm shitting bricks. Trust, I'm falling back in with the nerds because I needed that environment. That's not me using, well, I am using them a little bit, but like I didn't like sit there and go, I don't want to fucking talk to you, I just want to know what you're doing and I want to know the work that you're doing, whatever. I never cheated or anything like that. Because I genuinely liked those guys and I was friends with those guys. So I just kind of just needed to change my environment. That's all it was. And they say you're your 5 closest friends. How many friends do I have? 0. That means I'm entirely independent, guys. I am original. Anyway, at least I think I am. He says, as he does, quotes all of these fucking vocal stims, like any pick-me would. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, so I finished my GCSEs. Then all of a sudden, everyone's gone. Hello? Where did you all go? Even the faces you just used to see walking down the corridor, you never even spoke to them. I'm never going to see you again. You're going to go off and die somehow, or whatever. Or you might have kids. Don't know why I had to be so morbid there, but that was crazy. And then all of a sudden, we're doing it all over again. Everything I fucking worked for in that secondary school, the friendships that I've formed, the parties that I've been to, the relationships that I've held with people, all out the fucking door. And I tried so fucking hard. So fucking hard. I cultivated those friendships like no other. Blink, 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 blink. Anyway. Yeah, so I did, if you're interested, not that anyone gives a shit anyway, I did maths, English, obviously, as you have to do that, and you have to do science, but instead of doing combined science as you do in the UK, I did triple science, so maths, chemistry, and physics, and biology, were taught separately. Then I did sociology, geography, and Spanish. Bizarre. Because then I went to college, right, and obviously over the summer, what do you mean, like, now I have to come and actually find you, rather than seeing you in school every day. I have to text you and be like, are you out? Wow, fuck me. That is old. No one does that anymore. Fuck me. It's like we're living in the caveman times. Knocking on someone's door. Hello? Oh, we did that anyway. Our age group did that. Thank fuck for that. Anyway, going into college now, I'm thinking I have to fucking start again. Are you joking? And what's crazy is, I remember shitting bricks. I remember keeping a few people around that I could go into college with, if that makes sense. Just a companion, rather than just whacking it out solo. Very, very, very scary, guys. But I remember going into this college. Now all of a sudden, I'm seeing people that look 5 and people that look 45. And I'm thinking, are we the same age? What the fuck is going on? Everyone's growing facial hair. I'm growing facial hair. The fuck? And I chose maths, chemistry, physics, and further maths as A-levels. You only need to do 3, but I decided to torment myself by doing 4, going into the hole, seeing how low I can go. Anyway, crazy. So you're walking around, all of a sudden, it doesn't matter how many piercings we have. What? We'd get like fucking scolded if we had more than one in a UK school. Also, we're not wearing uniforms anymore, so we can wear what we want. Fuck off. You're having a laugh. You're lying to me. Because what? Yeah, crazy. Anyway, we're walking in. Obviously, I'm judging everyone because people are wearing some crazy shit and then people are wearing, like, fuck me, like, some nice shit, which is bad. And now I understand why uniforms are in place. But it gets better, don't worry. I'm not a cunt for a long time, I promise. Like, hold on. I'm not a cunt for long. I've come out of my cuntishness. So, going into this college or whatever, slowly, I start looking really old. Hello, when did that happen? It happened like overnight. I woke up, all of a sudden I've got a fucking beard. My hair's really long. The fuck? And I'm meeting new people. What? I don't fucking remember how I met them. Crazy, but I did. I still don't get it. Anyway, then all of a sudden we're going to parties, and like the parties aren't like what we used to have. They're like fucking huge parties, and we're getting pissed something fucking chronic. Not on fruit shoots. Whiskey, which I've now discovered is not a good drink for me. Well, since then. And I'm loving life. Not to mention the timetables are so different. School, you're there from 8:30 or secondary school, you're there from 8:30 till 4 if you're in year 11. It's usually 3. And looking back at it now, I don't know how I survived, because we had lesson after, like 2 lessons consecutively, then a 15-minute break, then another 2 lessons consecutively, then a 35-minute lunch. What, 35 minutes? Is that all we got? And then we had a lesson after, and each lesson was like an hour and 10 minutes. How the fuck I whacked out 2 hours and 20 minutes of lessons in like strips with only a 15-minute break without smoking? Not a fucking chance, mate. But college, all of a sudden, we had a lesson, 25-minute break, a lesson, an hour and 25-minute lunch, a lesson, a 15-minute break, and then our final lesson. And then that's only if you did 4 A-levels. If you did 3 A-levels, you'd come in late because you'd have a free period, or you'd finish at like 12 o'clock if you only had 2 lessons that day. What? And they had a fucking smokers area. What do you mean we have a smokers area? I'm popping out for a fucking fag halfway through my lesson. What? Yeah, trust I do that. I go, can I go to the toilet? And then I'll rock out. But we didn't even have to ask to go to the toilet, or you'd call your teachers by their first name. What kind of development was that? Don't fucking know. Not a clue. But I suppose it's that bridge, isn't it, into adulthood. Adulthood. I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm sitting there next to my teacher, and I'm like, can I use your lighter, please? Yeah, of course you can. Sorry, why are you giving me a lighter? Give it, but like, why are you giving me a lighter? And we were right by this whole new city, by the way, that we're in, because I had to travel for mine. We've got McDonald's right outside of the college, so what do you mean I can go get a McDonald's for lunch? Hello? Fucking greatest thing there ever was. Wow. Looking back after being in uni, there were still restrictions, and what I mean is restrictions, I mean just the relationship you have with your teachers. It was still a power dynamic there, even though it had shortened drastically. Like, you're not going to sit there and get told off, like shouted at, or sent to a detention, or sent out of the fucking classroom for 5. That wouldn't happen. They did treat you like adults, but there still was that level of like, you're a kid kind of thing. Even though we're all driving also, like at the start of the second year, and we're all working, like, I suppose in the second year we all got fucking sick of it, because like, trust, college, as much as it was my favourite time ever, it was also the fucking worst time. Because what do you mean I'm sitting there doing all-nighters, stressing about fucking partial differential equations? I'm sitting there like a fucking 50-year-old man. Bear in mind, well, I got so bad when I was doing my my A-levels. I literally, my hair was so long, I had it like in a ponytail. My beard was so long, I'm getting fucking wrinkles and crow's feet all around my face. My skin texture is so rough and rugged. I'm sitting at this very desk, not this one, black one that I had, paper up to here with maths, and I'm sitting there. I was allowed to smoke up here, thank God, thank you, Grandad. He smokes as well, but like, I keep my window open. He was like, just while you're doing your A-levels, I'll let you go upstairs. I have my little ashtray, and I'm sitting there, glasses on, by the way. Let me just give you a visual demonstration. Oh, glasses on. Oh, I look like a fucking twat. These aren't my favourite pair of glasses, and I'm fucking sitting there. No, that can't be right. Einstein's theory of relativity. What? What the fuck am I doing? What am I doing? I look at myself, I think, fuck, it's got to stop. The bags under my eyes, I'm literally melting away. Crazy. Worst time of my life. Most stressed I've ever been. But at the same time, it was the best, because the people that I met, oh my fucking God, they're the best. Seriously, I love them even more than I ever would love my secondary. And obviously, you think about that, you think, will I not love my, like, I'm going to miss my secondary school friends. Like, I can't imagine my life without them. Bye. Who gives a fucking shit? Suck a fat one, sit on it and swivel. These guys at college were so much better. Still love them, obviously, come back. But these guys, fuck me, lifelong friends, crazy. Fucking love them. Anyway, we were talking about socialisation. I don't want to say we, like you have any part to play in this, it's all me. But what I mean is, talking about socialisation wise, the hierarchy that was once so rigid has now completely collapsed. All of a sudden, I'm seeing emos and goths walking through the school, and people are like bowing down to them because they were fucking cool. If you were a chav, if you don't know what chav means, it's like basic British girl, like SSR, talking like a twat, fake tan, everything like that. That once you were really popular, like once that was the shit, that was in. Now, what the fuck? Get out of here. No one wants to fucking hear you yap anymore. We're more interested in the druggie that's doing ket behind the sheds. That kind of was what it was like. Yeah. I mean, we all still found our groups, but we're all adults at that point, so we're all mingling, and all of a sudden it's so beautiful, because relationships you'd never think would occur, that segregation that was once so strict has now completely broken down, and finally people are finding commonality between each other, but also accepting the differences, if that makes sense. That was not like the be all or end all. Fascinating to watch, I tell you that, but also great for me, because I could just run around and talk to whoever the fuck I wanted to. I knew it, like there would be someone there that was interested in what I was saying. I could go sit with a Marvel lot. Hello, Marvel group? Crazy. Anyway, that was like almost, jeez, way too far. Anyway, so I apologise. That was so fucking rude. I sound really nasally as well, guys. I'm so sorry. Puff. I haven't had a puff in a while, so. Right, then we're sitting our A-levels, right? Worst time of my life. Oh my fucking God. I was playing Roblox for the majority of it, so I have no one else to blame other than myself. I had quite this group that I stuck with. I love them so much. I love them even to this day. Like, we're still very, very close. And they were just the best blend I could ever ask for. Like, just everything. I fucking loved them. And they got me through it, to be honest. It was so fucking rough. Then we've all finished, and we've done our UCAS applications. Well, some of us did, not me. I didn't do my UCAS application because I was a twat. UCAS application, if you don't know what that is, that's to get into university. Like, you write a personal statement, you apply to loads of different universities, and your grades, obviously you have to meet the entry requirements to get into the university. And I'm also kind of umming and ahhing about what I want to do. Once I was a social science kid, I loved essays and stuff. I actually had, sorry, I know I keep diverging, but I have a video on my computer that I reacted to. I haven't uploaded it because it's just like something for me and my family to watch or whatever. Of 14-year-old me talking to 25-year-old me. I'm not 25, but trust, I was getting impatient, so I opened it up, whatever, and I'm watching it. And I wanted to be a fucking political commentator. Hello? I'm a mechanical engineer now. I'm studying my mechanical engineering master's degree. Hello? Crazy. How times have changed. But we're kind of umming and ahhing about where we are, obviously, with university, all sorts of stuff. So we have that common struggle as well, which I love. That's just like a very crucial thing, I think, in like colleges and things like that, is everyone's in the same boat. We're all fucking struggling. We all want to kill ourselves. Trust. Anyway, it finally ends, and I can't believe how emotional I was. Like, seriously emotional. Obviously, it's summer. The first summer at the end of year one was great because you knew you were all going to see each other again in September. So you spent loads of time together over the summer holidays. All of a sudden, you can't keep up with where people are going. Like, people are travelling up north to go to a university. Like, you're probably never going to see him again, and you panic and you think. And at that point, I'm sitting in my car and I'm driving home on my own as well, which is really sad because I usually have my like best friend Vanessa with me or whatever, and she yaps away to me or whatever, and as she usually does. But she went in because it was a different. Oh no, I think she was. No, I don't know if she was or wasn't. And she probably was with me. It was probably a different time. Why am I even talking about this? I don't even know. Anyway, I'm in my car. It's point being, and I'm thinking to myself, I've only gone and done it to myself again. I'm blaming myself, but even though it's not my fault, I'm thinking I've spent 2 years cultivating friendships that I now value way more than I did the ones in secondary school, and I've got to say bye to them again. But this time it could be permanent. Like, and at the end of college, I'm thinking to myself, I'm an adult now, because I am. Like, at that point, I'm 18. And I'm driving and I'm working and I'm starting to pay for things, and my whole dynamic has changed at home. Like, my priorities are in line. I'm not coming home playing fucking Fortnite. Alright, I played Roblox during my A-levels, but that was a coping mechanism. Now I'm coming home, sitting down and going, oh fucking hell, get me a cuppa. I'm fucking knackered. What time are we starting dinner? Yeah. I'm having to think about what I'm feeding myself. What? Hello? Anyway, point is, I'm thinking, and these friendships I value so much more than the secondary at school, and now I'm at the forefront of the beginning of my life, if that makes sense. I have now got 40, 50, 60, hold on, if I'm 18, assuming I die at 90, 70 odd years of my life ahead of me. Now, if I didn't want to go to university, I didn't have to. I was thinking to myself, I could go fuck off to Italy, sit down and open up a cafe and live there for the rest of my life. That's a responsibility that was too much for me to be holding. I was thinking, fuck, there is suddenly no structure or routine. It's now a free-for-all. Whatever I choose to do, I have to build that structure myself. Obviously, coming out of secondary school, you expect to start college in September. Coming out of college, you don't have to start uni. You're at the end of your educational timeline. Now the rest is optional. The fuck? Fuck me, I struggled with that. I was genuinely so upset because I was like, I'm going to lose everyone. Wrongly right. I think I know it's been 43 minutes. I know this is too long, but wrongly right. Anyway, so yeah, I'm sitting there or whatever in my car, and I get home and I'm genuinely so upset. I'm miserable, but I'm excited because it is summer or whatever. And I don't really remember much from that summer after college, even though it's just gone. Wait, fuck. Yeah, it's just gone. I've started my first trimester at uni. What do you mean I don't remember the summer? I think I need pictures on my phone. I'm recording with my phone. How ironic. I don't really remember it being too stimulating, I suppose is the word. I really don't, to be quite honest. I just remember stressing about uni. I was stressing about my fucking A-level grades. Fuck me, that was so scary. Oh, they make you wait a devious amount of time to get them. But I also thought to myself, okay, suddenly the importance of family has just spiked, and I was thinking, okay, now is the time to be so present with them, because these are going to be the people that are going to be with me for the next 70 fucking years. So I've got to figure out how to like them. I'm joking, I love my family. I'll let you think about that. No, I'm joking. So yeah, whole new environment to be in. And then I was also kind of excited because I thought this is at the point now where I develop myself, and this is the end of the transitional period. I know throughout your whole life you're obviously going through a transitional period in every single chapter you find yourself in, but this is like my childhood is gone now. That's it. Welcome into being an adult. And I know it's so fucking cliche to talk about it. It really is. But this is just my experience and how I dealt with it. Anyway, I got to the end of August and I realised I hadn't done the UCAS application. People were starting university in September, and I owe it to myself to continue. I've always said I wanted to go to university. I've always said I wanted to do a degree. I didn't know what in, but luckily over those months off in the summer, I had time to think about, okay, I've got a chemistry A-level, a maths A-level, a further maths A-level, and a physics A-level. I genuinely have a lot of versatility with that, be it finance, be it anything STEM, engineering, or being a theoretical scientist or something, I don't know, theoretical physicist in some capacity, pharmacology, or anything like that. Like, I can go into... Bizarrely, I could go into law with those A-levels at some universities. It was really bizarre. But I did settle for engineering, and I thought that was going to be a big jump because I didn't really want to be an engineer, but then at the same time it's a perfect blend of practical things and the theory behind it. The thing that I loved about STEM was always the theory. I wanted to be doing my mathematics degree, but then I thought to myself, 4 more years of fucking numbers, not even numbers, letters and logic, because a lot of that in maths in degree level isn't anything about fucking numbers, to be honest. Did I really want to be pen and paper, or did I want to go into work? I considered degree apprenticeships because I thought I need money, and my situation even now is shit, and I've had such a drive to start working and earning. But then I thought I've always wanted to be, I find comfort in being in a school environment, which is so bizarre. And so I decided to do my mechanical engineering integrated master's degree, which I'm studying now. And do you know what? University, it's like college, but so much more. Who gives a shit? Do you know what? I'm barely fucking in. The hours have been cut down now to like 1 lesson a day, and I have 2 days that I'm in. So I'm in for and the lectures are 3 hours. All right, fair enough. But I'm barely fucking in. I've got all this time to work and study and whatever. And at the moment, it's the first trimester, so the workload isn't actually too hard. And I am still in contact with a lot of my friends, thank God, from college. Not so much loads of them, but I have them there. If I wanted to text them, I could. It's been so bizarre adapting because you have to get comfortable in being on your own and navigating new environments. Going into university, genuinely, I had college, obviously I had a companion to come, a few friends or whatever to experience it with. University, I was all on my own, going in to this fucking big room filled with loads of people. And not to mention, at the start of my degree so far, there's been a massive emphasis on public speaking, and I don't give a fucking shit about public speaking. I can speak in front of anyone and everything, I don't care, or whatever. But when I'm up there and I had to do a speech, for example, on engineering dynamics or whatever, and what we know about it and our backgrounds, just to get us used to standing up the front, I didn't really give a shit, but I'm standing up the front there, and as I'm speaking, I'm talking, and I'm thinking, hopefully, if this is anything like college or secondary school, I will find a bunch of you that I will become like this with for the rest of my life. I pray that happens, because I've loved who I've met at college and I've loved who I've met at secondary school. I'm praying this is what uni will be like. Unfortunately, I didn't move up north, or I didn't move somewhere, which is so fucking annoying, because I was more than qualified to do that. It's just my indecisiveness has put me in a position now where I feel like I've robbed myself of a new experience of meeting new people, staying in fucking accommodation. Because it actually drives me round the bend, both anti-clockwise and clockwise. I'm running up and down the walls because because if I think about it too long, I actually get so fucked off in myself, and I will literally be searching up uni accommodations right now, and I'll make the transfer right now. But I need to stick this out so far. And alright, the people that I've met at uni so far, they're great people. I love them. I just haven't yet, being entirely honest with myself, and this is nothing against those uni friends because I love them to bits, like I say. I'm not feeling the spark. Maybe that's just because suddenly I'm not so naive anymore, and I'm a little bit more attuned to what life is going to be like and what sort of looks ahead for me. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. But either way, I owe it to myself to see it through. And you guys do as well. Sorry, I've made this all about me. It's like a fucking therapy session. I'm just sitting here talking about my problems and knocking myself out, clearly. Anyway, I'm going to have to end it there because it's been 15 minutes. And do you know what? It's 6:37. And in this time, I've forgotten about my side profile. Don't look at it for too long. Don't look at it for too long. Anyway, guys, I wish you all the best. And if you're scared about going into college or you're scared about going into uni, be scared. Okay, because it's fucking terrifying. No, it's not. It's just a completely different environment. But just do it. Because, do you know what? At the end of it, you can say that you have done it. Trust, that's all I want to say. Is that I fucking bossed that shit all by myself. And if you can get friends to come with you, then great. But it's exciting. It's a new door. Everything is a new door. And just think about the money you'll get after you do your degree. If you did a degree in art, fair enough to you. I'm not even going to slate it off. I just think, I don't know. If you did a degree in art, I hope you get really fucking minted and famous. If I'm sitting here writing out fucking partial differential equations, sorry, that's hurt me. They weren't even that bad, so I don't know what I'm talking about. If you're doing quantum physics, or if I'm doing quantum physics and I come out on 20 grand a year for the rest of my life, I'm ending it. Alright? Or I'm starting up an OnlyFans page. I've got the tripod. Haven't got the body, but we'll get there. Anyway, now I've got to really awkwardly reach for the stop recording sign and click stop. Anyway, good night, guys, or good morning. I'll see you later. And have a Merry Christmas as well, because it's actually 3 days till Christmas.